Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops that taught me this truth, that rule well. Shalom to the elect scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Paya, and this is a short clip, and I'm going to let it play.
Annual Revolution Day just took a dark, occult turn. In the middle of Tehran, pro-regime protesters burned a towering effigy of Baal, the ancient horned god, decked out in a Star of David, a pentagram, and 666. This isn't just about ancient history. In the extended footage, speakers linked the satanic imagery directly to Jeffrey Epstein and the corrupt Western elite. To drive the point home, they burned an obelisk, a symbol often used in Masonic conspiracy theories, while chanting death to Israel. Iran is currently gripped by a massive new wave of 2025-2026 domestic protests. By blending religious symbolism with global deep state conspiracies, the regime is trying to redirect the public's anger away from the government and toward a supposed satanic external foe. It's a bizarre mix of Middle Eastern geopolitics and American internet culture, all set on fire in the town square. Is this a genuine religious statement or the ultimate distraction tactic for a regime under fire? Comment Joe to follow updates.
Alright, so you saw it, you heard it, right? Which is this idol the Iranians was burning over there, which are, which are the Persians in the scriptures, Iran. And they were burning the statue of Baal, right, which had the pentagram and the number 666, which is the number of man, and you could read that in the book of Revelation 13:16. Who's it referring to with that final great idol, which is going to be a digital device, you see? But you see in these countries uproars, right? And burning the images and idols and statues, which goes back into the Book of Kings, how they used these statues to sacrifice certain animals and children, putting them over the fire. You know what I mean? And that's a righteous thing to do, You have other countries in Jamaica, they was breaking down statues, idols. There was protests of at one point where they was destroying the idols of the so-called Caucasians, which are the Edomites, statues of themselves. They're always creating idols from animals from that, in the heavens and under the sea, which they, symbolically use for their, sacrifice, worship, witchcraft, and sorcery. You see? And the world is seeing what it is, and they going against, the land of Israel right now. See? Look at these statues over there in New York. You got what? The Statue of Liberty, right? There was one spot, I think it was Las Vegas, where they had the statue of Daniel. You got these Roman statues idolizing themselves, But what does the scripture speak about when it comes to that? With these idols? Because you could wear, a cross and it's an idol, So that's why people have to be careful with these things, But this is real quick, the book of, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 3, it says, "And ye shall overthrow their altars, and break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall," and then the groves, and then you have something called Bohemian Grove, where they go and do their little, they burn the fire, and they have the big statue of I think, not Molech, it's an owl, where they do their little, whatever, enchantments and sorceries and stuff, that's the demonic spirit of these Edomites, Amalek and all that. And especially that idol with JC, how they got people worshiping Jesus that looks like a white man with long hair. That was an idol of a man. He was a queer at that, Going back to Caesar Borgia. It says, and ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy the names of them out of that place. And, these other countries, they're tired of Babylon, America, which is Babylon the Great. And over here, you got idols all over the place, everywhere, in every state, in every city, right? They got statues even downtown Philadelphia. You got in New York the Apollo statue, with their, Greek mythologies and stuff like that, right? So it's a righteous thing to break down these images because there are no gods, Just look at when you read about Daniel, Bel and the dragon, how they try to deceive, or make Daniel look like a liar using a damn cat. Hey, look at the time of Egypt, when Moses went up to get the commandments. Our people, and it goes down to our people too, where they built a golden calf to worship. These people worship the matter of fact, let's get that. I don't even want to butcher it. All right, so this is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. It says, who changed the truth of God into a lie. Hey, our people worship these pagan days, Christmas, Santa Claus, when you change those little words around, it's Satan, Easter, the bunny, the this, the that, right? Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. To what? So why the hell you want to worship a goddamn fish or, put your children, and that's what they doing in the modern days now. They putting their children over the fire by worshiping and taking part of these pagan traditions. We're seeing the characteristics, right? Even when Jake get tattoos of another person on him, which he's supposed to pierce, mark your body in that fashion anyway. But the greatest idol is going to be the hour of temptation, when they want to insert a digital device inside of you. Okay? And hey, matter of fact, let's get another precept real quick. No, you know what? I think I have it already. Forgive me. I believe it's in, 1 Kings chapter 18 verse, I'm going to start at 25. It says, and Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. So he was being crafty with the prophets of Baal, but I want to get and he mocked them. Just like how these Persians are mocking, these elites of their images now, But it says, and they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them, and said, cry loud, for he is a god. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey. So he was being sarcastic with them, Jake. Or peradventure he sleepeth. Maybe he's just asleep and must be awakened. Right? Let's let's keep going down. That was verse 27. So it says, Verse 28, and they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances till the blood gushed out upon them. So they started cutting themselves. Crazy, right? And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied unto the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, Yahweh. And he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. Right? So basically he was being sarcastic. But I want to get to the point where it speaks about, hold on. Right? In 1 Kings 18:22, it says, Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord Yahweh. But Baal's prophets, meaning, so Elijah's like, it's me. Right? It's just, you know what? It was just him right there. All right? Let me read it again. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord Yahweh, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. So it was him against 450 prophets of Baal. You know? Right? Matter of fact, let's go to the next verse. It says, Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it. Alright, so there you go. You know? Elijah ended up bringing fire from the heavens. Showing like, yep, can your statue do that? Matter of fact, this is the book of Judges, chapter 10, verse 14. It says, Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Right? It says, verse 14, Judges 10 and 14. Matter of fact, let's go here. Now it goes into the names of these other nations. Let's start at 11. Says, And the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Did not I deliver you from the Egyptians, and from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines? And Ammon loved them dragons. They loved them, you know what I mean? It says, the Zidonians, the Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, which is Amalek, the grandsons of Esau, the Edomites, which are these elites, the banking families that created all these, symbologies, demonologies and stuff like that, and idols and all that. They were, hey man, and the Moabites did oppress you, right? These other nations, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me, and served other gods, right? Wherefore I would deliver you no more, right? Yo, because even money could be a god to these people. Tells you that in the back of the dollar bill. In God we trust. And what God? Because God just means power. You know? What power are you serving? Right? Are you serving the power that could create an earthquake? That could bring fiery tornadoes? That could make your heart shut down overnight? Or you crying unto you, worshiping yourselves? Or, hey, these heathens, they worship all these different statues and monoliths, you know, and these different architectures and structures of animals and, you know, obelisks and these different pyramids and all that, man. You know, the Lord's going to destroy all this shit, you know? So it says, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Right? So now let's jump back down. So reading back to the other nations, it says, and they put away, no, let's read 15 again. Forgive me. It says, and the children of Israel said unto the Lord, Yahweh, we have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee, this day. And they put away the strange gods from among them, and served the Lord Yahweh, and his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. Then the children of Ammon were gathered together, and encamped in Gilead. And the children of Israel assembled themselves together, and camped in Mizpah. Alright, so that's okay, that's the point on that. Right? Now let's get the book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, be thou shalt be able to profit. If so, be thou mayest prevail. They're not going to prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Now let's get that word wearied real quick. Right? Wearied, caused to become tired, grow tired of or bored with, right? They're getting tired, trying to cover up everything they exposed. You know? These elites and their little statues and what they worship has been exposed. The whole world is seeing this place for what it is. You know? They're becoming a laughing stock. Right? Let's read it again. Verse 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. They shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. Right? So none of that's going to save them. You know, when all hell breaks loose. Right? So I just wanted to bring this out real quick. I don't want this to be too long. But there's nothing new under the sun. You know, and obviously they're being exposed. You know, because this place takes up the fashion all going all the way back to the beginning. Egypt, you know, Syria, you know, you know, the statue, the you know, going back to the Roman Empire, right? The Greek Empire, right? You know, ancient Babel, you know, so on and so forth. You're seeing it happen now. You know, a great melting pot of different cultures, you know, and statues and idols, and it's and hey man, they even put it on your children with these little dolls and these little teddy bears and shit. Everything, all of that is you know, a form of an idol, man. You know, right? Just look at what these religions, you know. But anyway, you know, Esau, and what they was chanting against Israel, because a lot of them are, you know, Z's, if you know what I mean, Zionists and all that, controlling the banks. Scriptures say they gonna draw them out. You know, they're gonna cause these other Persian nations, you know, really get tired. And who they allies with? Russia, China, North Korea, so on and so forth. So, you know, hey, even Putin was speaking about how they, you know, do all these witchcraft and stuff like that, which Putin is Edomite anyway as well. Has nothing but Satan against Satan. But the point is, everything done in the dark is being brought to light. So, you know what I mean? And these other nations, they getting fed up, man. Like, they tired of it, you know? Anyway, with that, I hope this was edifying. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom.